So you have a heavy backpack, you're breathing. Extraction is less than 100 meters away. You've already won though. You just don't know it yet. Then, a gunshot echoes across the map. You stop. You look toward the sound. Maybe someone's carrying better loot. Maybe they just finished fighting. Or maybe there's one more backpack waiting just for you with your name on it. So, what do? You tell yourself, just one more fight. Just one more building. Just one more minute. 30 seconds later, everything is gone. Not because your aim failed, not because your strategy failed, but because greed convinced you that winning wasn't enough. Welcome back to How Winners Think, this series where we explore the psychology, strategy, and decision making that separates average players from players who consistently extract rich. Today, we are talking about the biggest killer in extraction shooters. Not weapons, not campers, not bosses. Greed. This might sound strange to you, but greed doesn't usually appear when you're losing. It appears when you're winning. You find a rare item or weapon, a valuable crafting item, should I say, a full backpack. Suddenly, your brain starts thinking differently. Not, how do I survive? Instead, how much more can I get? That's the dangerous part. Success changes your objective. You entered the raid trying to survive. Now you're trying to maximize. And those are two completely different goals. The moment survival becomes secondary, you are no longer playing the same game. Greed rarely sounds dramatic. It doesn't scream, it whispers. One more container, one more player, one more building, one more minute. That's what makes it so dangerous. Every decision feels reasonable. Individually, none of them seem reckless. But greed isn't usually one terrible decision. It's 10 tiny decisions that all move you further away from safety. By the time you realize, you've already gone too far. You've already crossed the point where extraction was the better choice. Here's something that completely changed how I play extraction shooters. The raid doesn't end when you extract. It ends the moment you decide you have won. Professional poker players know this. Professional investors know this. They don't stay in the game forever. They know when enough is enough. The richest Ark Raiders players aren't fearless. They are disciplined. They understand something average players don't. Loot sitting in your backpack isn't yours. Not yet. It's borrowed, and the map can take it back whenever it wants. Have you noticed something? The more valuable your loot becomes, the worse your decisions get. You stop checking corners. You actually just start ignoring audio. You sprint through open spaces. You chase fights you would have avoided literally 5 minutes earlier. Why? Because greed narrows your attention. You're no longer thinking strategically anymore. You're thinking emotionally. You don't want to lose what you have found. Ironically, that's exactly why you lose it. Greed doesn't just make you take bad fights. It stops you from seeing the good decisions right in front of you. Watch experienced players. They are actually, if I'm being honest, surprisingly boring. They leave early, skip fights, ignore loot, walk away. At first, it really does look quite cowardly until you realize something. They are extracting again and again and again. They aren't trying to win one amazing raid. They are trying to win every week. You see, consistency always beats hero moments. A player who extracts with good loot 5 times will always, and I mean always, outperform the player who dies chasing greatness. Winning isn't about finding the biggest jackpot. It's about protecting the one you have already earned. Every raid asks you the same question. Not, can you survive? That's basic, but eventually most players can. The real question is, can you leave? Because leaving isn't mechanical, it's psychological, meaning it's all up in the brain. It means accepting that there might be better loot elsewhere, accepting that another player might get richer than you, accepting that you don't need everything. And in retrospective thoughts, that's hard, because greed isn't really about loot, it's about control. We want certainty, we want perfection, we also want the perfect raid, but those raids rarely exist. The player who builds real wealth understands something everyone else learns too late, and that is, you don't become rich by winning one incredible raid. You become rich by refusing, and I mean refusing, to throw away 20 good ones. If you remember one sentence from this video, make it this: the richest players aren't the ones who find the most loot. They are the ones who know when to stop looking. The next time you're standing near extraction and you hear gunfire in the distance, ask yourself one question: am I chasing profit or am I chasing greed? Because that answer will decide whether your inventory grows or disappears. If you enjoyed this episode of How Winners Think, let me know in the comments. What's the most valuable raid you've ever lost because you got greedy? I'd like to hear your story. Next time, we are tackling one of the hardest skills in Arc Raiders, and that is why winners know when to quit. Because sometimes the strongest decision you will ever make is walking away. Until next time, think first.